So did you watch any games this past weekend? Or do you just take the days off and relax and get ready for Brazil this upcoming weekend? Because now our international stint begins.
These beautiful things that I've
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rendezvous, your weekly series for everything 100 Thieves, LCS, LTA, whatever you want to call it. Either way, the viewership ain't great, but we'll talk about that on Friday. That's not a concern for now. For now, we have some catching up around the org news to worry about before I bring in Henrique to talk about our matchup this upcoming weekend, because I know nothing about the LTA South teams, and he does. So, might be a good reference. Starting with the big announcement, when, for the record, I'm recording this on Monday. I typically record the Rendezvous on Mondays, and things can happen over the course of the week, just due to the timing of this video and whatever comes out. So there was actually a pretty big announcement on the 100 Thieves org side called 100 Club, which is the royalty rewards program that we caught wind of towards the end of last year, and now it's officially out there, where you can go in, log into your account, any apparel that you buy from 100 Thieves gets you points towards the org, and there's a whole different tiers of prizing and structures that you can do. You could watch videos on the 100 Thieves channel, interact with their tweets, their Instagram, you name it. You could just basically engage with the organization to earn honor. That honor can then get you rewards, including a diamond 100 Thieves chain. And while that's like cool and it's like a sign of loyalty for the org, for me personally, I actually would probably use it on the Golden Glue coaching just to subject him to my ADC play, because I think it'd be freaking hilarious. And honestly, if I got a chain from 100 Thieves, I would want it to be because I was actually in the org. Nothing wrong with a fam one, to be clear, but like, it just, for me, it means more, and like that's what I personally am striving for, not just like one that I could earn by, you know, being active on social media. But in general, I do love what this program's doing. You can get jerseys, you can get so much more. It keeps people involved with the brand and encourage you to engage with their content beyond just like the normal stuff. So link your accounts, be sure to watch videos through the 100 Club thing there. Like, go and make sure you have everything tied out, and it's a good way to build up some loyalty. Maybe one day you'll be able to watch an episode of the Rendezvous and get points towards honor. Who knows? Speaking of content, we actually got two pretty awesome pieces during the week. First being a vlog, which was released a mere 24 hours after we had won our series the prior weekend. It was right after I also filmed this, so I didn't get to talk about any of the content in there. I love that we were able to pump out a vlog so quick. It is interesting to basically know that like that kind of is what the heist used to be, except obviously like scaled down to make sure that it can get out there with no player interviews, with nothing like that. I'm curious to see if we get a heist video this week, given that in theory, like we've now had a week and like, well, basically a week and a day to film content, knowing that like we weren't playing games the upcoming weekend. You could still scrim, you could still do everything else, but like there should be a ton of content from the 100 Thieves side leading up to this trip to Brazil to help promo, like, hey, it's playoff time, we're going to be here, we're your number one seed, all this, all that. Like, it's something that, again, Optic, my golden standard, does that very well. Anytime there's an event leading up to it, they always have video pieces coming out. Given that we have no voice comms, and in theory there is no vlog, I would expect a heist video probably this week. Like, that would be my expectation, plus some other promotional style video to try and help push the brand, the org, and everything going into the series, especially since it's on at a new time. In case you did not know, the series this upcoming weekend is actually going to be on at 2 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, not 4 p.m. the normal time. We are the first series starting at 2, which for East Coast, I personally love. I love that it's at that time. It's great. For others, it might be a little early. I don't know. We're now directly competing with the LEC, so we got some shoes to fill. But we'll see. I'm hoping for a lot this week from 100 Thieves. It should be a good week of both content and games. But before we get there, there is one other announcement that came out that is a little bit more divisive, depending on who you ask. So to set this up, I actually tweeted out, and for some reason the tweet popped like way more than it normally does. Ludwig had a pretty good own on C9 yesterday, which was, you know, you basically have Saudi money. Even though Shopify doesn't necessarily have their hands clean in the matter, they haven't taken Saudi money or like gone to those events yet, to my understanding. So like, Ludwig can tweet it out for now, even if it is just like a simple clapback that might not age all that well. But it's safe to say 100 Thieves is definitely rolling in the Saudi money now, like without question, because Nadeshot was the face of the Valorant announcement when it came to Riot partnering with Esports World Cup for the next 3 years. Now, people were kind of confused at what that meant, on whether like Esports World Cup would be MSI, etc. No, it's just like campaigns within, it looks like MSI, some VCT events, and then some TFT events, like kind of pushing like, hey, Esports World Cup is coming up. So Riot's more just embracing it and then slowly introducing it into their ecosystem and cycle in some way, shape, or form. But at least like the VCT and MSI events are all separate. But just know this was always kind of coming. If you were like anti like Saudi Arabian money and like sports washing when it comes to this type of stuff, 100 Thieves was always kind of rolling in it. They were a partner team last year, even though nobody went for the league team, which was, I think, was the only team that could really qualify. Oh, well, no, the Call of Duty team went, but I think they went under 100 Thieves. I don't remember exactly. But on the league side, we did not qualify because it was just the two teams that finished top 2 in spring. We were not there. There's a non-zero chance now, given how good we are, that we could be going to that event, depending on who all they invite, what the invite system is like. We have no clue what it's going to entail in any way, shape, or form yet. But there's a non-zero chance of 100 Thieves going. So if you got a problem with that type of money and sports washing and everything else like that, this is going to be a line in the sand moment for some people. If you don't care and you just want to watch esports, enjoy the tournament. It is what it is. The only question I do have from this, though, that still makes me scratch my head is like, okay, 100 Thieves is in bed with Esports World Cup and Saudi money. Why, like, how bad were things if you had that money, if Nade Shot's the face of it, and you still needed to sell the LTA slot to make sure that you had enough money to be operational per your words? Like, how bad of a financial situation are you in that all of those were needed at the same time? I know we'll never be able to get access to that. They'll never open up the books to us, so I get it. But it definitely raises some suspicions for me of like, that's a little sus, which could potentially spell problems when it comes to Riot determining whether 100 Thieves is going to remain in the league as like a long-term partner. We still have no updates or any clue what's going on that front. But at minimum, you know that like partnering with the Saudis is not like a negative thing, given that Riot's in bed with them too. So now we wait and see. Now for the final part of this video, as I said, I don't know anything about the team that we're going to be facing. So I figure you guys can learn as well as me when we talk to Henrique, who's been on this channel before to discuss the LTA South and the teams around it. Well, now that we got games in store, what does he think about our opponents? And I'll stick up for the 100 Thieves side and argue it.
Pain Gaming, I have no earthly idea, because I do believe that on their day, they are our best team. But they've been so far removed from their best through Split 1.
All right, so let's deep dive on Pain 100 Thieves, because I can speak to 100 Thieves better than any other team in this league right now. How does Pain win their games? Like, what is their strategy of going about? Like, are they countering their opponents? Do they have a set play style that they want to adhere to? Like, what is their route to victory?
There is some top lane counter pick. They have some flexibility in the jungle, but they're superstar, and I would say the best not best LATAM South player right now, but I think the best Brazilian player is Titan. Everything revolves around him, and I think Pain Gaming, they win through him, because they, like I told you last time, they got to the finals 5 straight times and couldn't get over the hump, and they made roster tweak after roster tweak after roster tweak after roster tweak, and finally they get in his AD carry that has this killer instinct, that is, the dude on Ezreal who knows when to go forward, right, essentially, and just one tap you with a combo. He has that. He talks immense amounts of noise. This guy Titan, he is kind of the beginning and end of what they do. Their weakness right now is their mid laner. He has the Dinketo, he has the tools to be a carry, but he's really not performing so well right now. Usually how they win is they draft him some control mage, Ari, Azir, whatever. He does okay on it. They have a little bit of flexibility. He can, drop a Yone every now and then, but he'll only kind of do that if they decide to go Zyra for Carioca, which that has fallen a little bit more in favor. Maybe we see that pop up in Fearless, but that's definitely something they have in their bag. Wiser can top lane counterpick a little bit, but everything revolves around the bottom lane. And I trust Titan because even in games where things looked hopeless in Split 1, Titan still did his best. Like he got smashed in lane early on a Caitlyn game, and then still came out and like survived the classic mid-game Caitlyn trough, and then showed up to the late game, got a quadra kill in a game that they ended up losing.
Will that be enough, though, to get through what is currently the best team in North America? Self pushing that, but like
here's I can't even, like, right now I can't even argue with you, because like it feels weird to see 100 Thieves with the 1 next to their name, but like
I mean, even taking away the ranking, like putting that aside, Quid River is currently the best mid jungle duo that we have in the league. Like bar none. Like I don't care what people say about Inspired and Quad or any of the other combos that we have. Like we're talking like when 100 Thieves wins, it is Quid putting on a freaking show. And the bot lane is stable. Sniper has been losing lanes against North American pros. I'm not sure how he'll do against CB LOL, given that if he didn't necessarily perform as well on the world stage. But if, like, I guess the worry for 100 Thieves fans is going to be not even whether your mid jungle can pop off, but it's a matter of whether we keep doing what we're doing already. And that's something
Yeah.
that failed at Worlds last year, where it's like, okay, Quid, River popping off, they get in that series. People don't want to remember the Vex, but the Vex kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
So now if I'm hearing that he's going against a control mage player, I'm happy and sad at the same time. Because like I'm happy because it's like, okay, if Quid brings out the carry pants as always, he can punish a control mage mid lane player like it's nothing.
Mhm.
But at the same time, if nerves get involved and you can fall back on a control mage mid player, that has a segue in.
Yeah.
And you're saying that a bot lane can carry. Do I think that FBI is going to fall behind? No, but it sounds like there's a potential avenue there for you guys if I'm being generous.
Yeah, no, and I think that is going to be it because I mean they did 2v2 kill Guma and Keria at Worlds, the same bot lane, Titan and Curry. So they have that in them, and that is how they have. Even when Titan was on Red Canids and he won his 2 titles in 21 and 22, he was with a support at the time named JoJo, and it was a lot of Kaisa Nautilus, right? A lot of just like kill lane in your face. We're just going to just try and fist you in lane and carry that lead. And when Titan has a lead, he can kind of just like that's what I think. If the bottom lane for Pain Gaming is able to run away with is able to get a lead early on, the odds of Pain winning go through the roof because the rest of the again that is their winning formula. You asked me at the start of this, how do they win? It's get a lead early on. Karaoke camps the crap out of that bottom lane. They get rolling. They don't really lose those games. Now they have not faced as stiff opposition as 100 Thieves, and I think that River again he's a smart cerebral jungler. He knows like. If I can tell you that that's a strategy for Pain, the 100 Thieves coaching staff can tell you that's a strategy for Pain, right? So they're going to know that, and they're not going to make it as easy for Karaoke to have his way in terms of his pathing and whatnot. So, I think the top lane matchup is honestly where it could go sideways because on the mid jungle point, I agree with you, and we were talking about this on our podcast. I forget if it was last week or this week, but we were kind of talking like, look, if Pain goes up against 100 Thieves right now, mid jungle is our weak point, and mid jungle for 100 Thieves is oh my god so good. And even if you don't believe that they're actually like the best mid jungle in North America, right now they are playing like it. So again, if they continue that, and if Pain continue how their mid jungle have been performing, this could be really, really ugly.
Yeah. Are there any champions that we should be weary of? Because the pro with 100 Thieves right now is that barring Ayla, who has played Poppy, I think twice or 3 times, no other player on 100 Thieves has played the same champion twice.
Yeah, I think Pain, they are a little more one-dimensional. Loud actually have, I'm looking at the stats right now, Loud have 3 players. So Loud have played 10 games, including like the tiebreakers and all that. 3 of their players have played 10 different champions in 10 different games. So Loud, they have a number of different ways that they can beat you. And again, Loud versus Cloud9 in terms of just like fan base, in terms of energy, that series is going to be a rock fight. I have no idea what's going to happen in that series. Entertainment value, that's the one you tune in for, in my opinion. But certain champions, Titan on an Ezreal, and on an Ezreal and on a Caitlyn. He has those 2 in his pocket that I think again he it's not even like wins lane with Ezreal, but he knows how to win lane with the Caitlyn. Again, if you don't win lane with Caitlyn, you kind of get you just kind of get shoved. But and then this is gonna sound really basic, but when Karaoke gets Maokai, which again, like if you have blue side, you should be able to do that, but they're not gonna have blue side, so 100 Thieves would be wise to grab that game 1, just take that completely out of rotation. I think that could really throw a wrench in their plans for Pain Gaming. But again, they should know that. Hopefully, they have something cooked up. He just doesn't lose on Maokai, man. And now you have to try to lose on Maokai in 2024 and 2025. That champion, it makes it so easy to play League of Legends. Yep. That being said, you still got to show up and do the dang thing. So. Yeah, and then Gnar in the top lane. Wiser, I think, can that is a champion that has been a signature pick of his. He can survive, he can lose lane gracefully and still show up and have the big ultimates. He can just kind of dominate you. He knows how to play side lanes pretty well as well. Right now, if you were to ask me, like, how good do I feel about this best of 3 against 100 Thieves, I would say 30-70. I think it gives us a 30% chance at taking the BO3. I think it's possible, but I think it would take Pain hitting their ceiling and 100 Thieves having a Worlds 2024 moment.
Mentality-wise, how does Pain do in high-pressure moments?
They actually do. If the team across from them isn't Loud, they actually do all right. Loud is kind of their boogeyman. And I think I would have had more confidence telling you that if I hadn't just watched what I watched in Split 1. Yeah. Because they sank all the way down to the 4 seed, right? So I'm hoping that this is a wake-up call, because these are players that they again, the majority of this roster suffered through losing 5 straight finals.
Yep.
And then finally you get over the hump, and it seems like they're resting on their laurels just a little bit. So I'm hoping that this is the swift kick up the ass that they need to be like, dude, you guys haven't done anything. You're the best of a bad bunch right now. We had 6 Brazilian teams, and we just got like, I mean, a couple of them that should have been put down. Should have been some mercy killings going on in split 1. It was not good, dude.
But that's going to be it for the Rendezvous this week, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the interview. I hope you enjoyed this section of the content as well. Do me a favor, drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell to make sure you're notified of any time I release a video around 100 Thieves or League of Legends in general. And let's go kick some LTA South ass, why don't we? Let's prove all the haters wrong. Everybody's scared that we might lose this series given what happened at Worlds. Let's prove that that was a fluke and that we truly are one of the best teams to be contended with when it comes to this league, this region, and the Americas as a whole.